Here's Peter and Ernie burning Quahog to the ground. And here's what's left of South Park after the undead homeless were let loose. I mean, come on, let's face it. You're kind of screwed if you live in either town. But let's just say you had to move to either Quahog or South Park. Which town do you think would be worse to live in? Well, today, you're going to find out because I'm going to be going through the entire history of both towns, ranking each incident on a sliding scale of 1 to 5, 1 for things that are a little bit annoying, and 5 for a catastrophic event. So come on, place your bets. Let's find out which town is the real hellhole. Starting by taking a look at the types of townsfolk you'll find in Quahog and South Park. There are certainly some wild and wacky characters in both Quahog and South Park, and not all of them are dangerous. Some are worse, annoying. And if we head on over to Rhode Island, it's hard to find anyone more annoying than everyone's least favorite maid, Consuela. Okay, sure, if she's not in your home, you've got nothing to worry about, right? Wrong. Here's the time she nearly causes a multi-car pileup just because there was a bit of spillage.
No.
What? What? You took it. See, we'll give it back. Come get, I guess that's why they say never to judge a leopard by their spots or something like that. So, Quahog opens up a quick 3-point lead over the boys in South Park. But don't worry, we've got someone similarly annoying up to bat for them now. PC Principal. Are you kidding me? This is done. You hear that? His whole stick is that he's an ultra-progressive and woke leader who's essentially Matt and Trey's commentary on the word police. But after the first 10 seconds, he gets old pretty fast. Plus, he's got a real temper problem. You don't want to end up like the spokesman for Subway, do you? Okay, let's back up. Did you just say spokesman instead of spokesperson? Okay, he's woke. He's prone to beating up kids and oh yeah? He's a trained killer. I didn't think you were human. Music, I can't really give him more than 3 points either because he's killing people there who aren't technically human. But still, if he's willing to kick Cartman in the next week, he'll make someone else wear a bullet for real if he's angry. So, just remember guys, if you lived in South Park, this is who you trust looking after your kids. So, that's our first 3 pointers of the video because PC Principal is clearly a danger to others. But you know who else is a danger to others? Diane Simmons. And she's no stranger to pulling the trigger herself. Now sure, you might know her as Tom Tucker's partner in crime on Cogs 5 News.
Cogs 5 News.
And since the laws of death no longer apply, I can do this.
But beneath that smiley anchorwoman exterior, Diane was hiding one hell of a secret. She loves to kill, and she flexes her killing muscle when James Woods invites a fair few people from Quahog to a family dinner, starting with the host himself. She even takes out Mort's wife, Muriel. Throughout the course of the night, Diane manages to kill 5 people. She pins the whole thing on Tom Tucker too, but luckily Lois smells a rat and stops Diane before she makes a Lois number 6. Well, with a little help from Stewie anyway.
If anybody's gonna take that down, it's gonna be me.
Having a serial killer on your doorstep is no laughing matter, but sadly that problem isn't isolated to just Quahog. In fact, they've got a much darker one in South Park, Michael Dietz, or to give him his full title, the Left-Hand Killer. I'll save you the counting, that's the left hand of 18 people. So, yeah, Dietz makes Diane look like a Little League killer. Although Diane's a little more slick with her killing, Dietz is just a total Fruit Loop.
This is me at the Grand Canyon. This is me at Mount Rushmore. Here I am at the Alamo in San Antonio. Do you see? Do you see?
Yes, I see!
I see that you should put some clothes on, Dietz, but that's about it. Anyway, the cops eventually figure out that Dietz has Cartman and end up rescuing him, but you might want to keep this episode in mind because we'll be coming back to it a little later.
Folks. But what about when the worst of society starts clumping together? Like the time when Peter caused an angry mob to march to his house after he started meddling with her favorite TV shows. See that guy with a ponytail in the background? He sneaks up and scares the girls. That'll teach you to mess the trash TV. Get a trash TV. Okay, I'll make myself out. Well, seeing an angry mob doesn't move the needle for Peter, and he stands his ground. You converted the biggest loser to the metric system. Now it feels like they're not losing enough. I am a Nielsen god. You're just jealous 'cause I get to say what's on TV now. Yeah, that's right, Peter. You make the already angry mob even angrier. I'm sure that's how you'll get things ironed out. Well, if it isn't Mr. Nielsen himself. More like that's how he'll get ironed out. Luckily, after they hospitalized Peter, the mob toned things right down. So, I can only really give them 3 points because they were just after the Griffins, which is more than I can say for the citizens of South Park, especially when Black Friday rolls around. Man, the people of Colorado are not to be messed with when it comes to discounted goods. And this is the aftermath. So, this is going to be our first 5-pointer. Music, after looking at the average townsfolk.
After looking at the average townsfolk, South Park is leading Quahog 20-4. But the people are one thing. How dangerous a town is, however, is a whole different ballgame. Like, how often do you see something like this in your town?
Well, I mean, if that's what I gotta do, then I guess
A grand piano falling on someone randomly is a 1 in a million shot, and the fact that Peter survives is like 1 in a billion. South Park had a similar situation with Kenny, and you can probably tell how that ended.
Look out!
Oops. To be honest, if you wanted to make this a total one-sided fight, you could just list every single one of Kenny's accidental deaths, but where's the fun in that? Sure, if they're relevant, I'll mention them. I'm well aware that if your name's Kenny McCormick, South Park is way more dangerous for you, just like Quahog is way more dangerous for Cleveland. Well, only when he's taking a bath.
Bocce balls!
I bought a tank!
The fact Peter has a full-on armed tank and is letting the gun shoot all over the place is an instant three-pointer in my eyes. Poor Cleveland is just collateral in this case. And by the way, like Kenny, I'm only counting the one bathtub moment. Fair's fair. Talking to Kenny though, he's still the center of things in Colorado, and more importantly, at the center of a stampede. And a cop car, I forgot to mention that. So not only do animals roam the streets, but when cops show up to round them up, they end up doing more damage than the cows. But this sort of stuff is small town chaos, which is nothing compared to the time a terrorist cell targeted Quahog, and of course Peter was in the middle of it.
He's the perfect man to help us blow up the Quahog Beach.
Ah! Oh my god! Everybody down!
To be fair to Peter, he doesn't know what he's getting himself wrapped up in, and when he lets the situation slip to the guys, they immediately realize what's going on.
Peter, I think you joined a terrorist sleeper cell.
Look, I'm gonna call Mahmood right now on this cell phone he gave me. He'll tell you.
Who, like Joe did with Peter, jumps in and saves the day. If we don't find that detonator, everyone in the town of South Park is going to die. With the threat over, you'd think they've removed the device from Hillary's body, but nope, they leave it in there. But hey, at least like in Quahog, no major bombs are set off. It's still worth at least 3 points in my mind. Like I say though, at least it never went boom, which is more than can be said for the time Peter accidentally rigged a children's hospital with explosives. You see that Anheuser-Busch billboard? Well, watch this. Oh God. Without mentioning the fact that Peter's killed dozens of kids, a building being blown up from the inside is also most likely going to collapse. So, this is for sure a hazard to the town. You know what else can be hazardous to a town? I don't know if, say, a giant space station crash landed on it. Stad bod but stud. Oh, stool. Luckily, there's only one death caused by the station. Sorry, Kenny, but it's still for sure hazardous to the town. What if it landed bang smack in the middle of South Park? Luckily, it didn't. But this is the sort of stuff you'd have to worry about if you lived there. Space stations falling out of the sky, and it's not much better in Quahog with random buildings being accidentally blown up. Who keeps tabs on all this stuff anyway? Shouldn't the police be doing a better job in both towns? Well, funny I should say that because we're about to take a look at who polices their town better. Pretty much anywhere you go in the world, the police will have a pretty bad rep. And that doesn't change in Quahog or...
Joe isn't the only cop to try and get some, though, because believe me, Barbardy is just as big of a horn dog.
Man, we've got a big problem.
Why, Chef?
You're probably wondering why we're standing here with a pile of money and no pants on.
Joe might be a bit of a creep, but he's still doing his job. Barbardy, on the other hand, is blowing off his duties while there's a whole Halloween disaster going on, which has nothing to do with the Japanese mafia. Talking to the mafia and organized crime, though, the force has got to have a strong stance on fraud. You can't just let anyone walk around stealing bank cards, or in this case, burn down entire buildings for an insurance payout. Well, that's exactly what Peter and Quagmire do to Mort's pharmacy. Obviously, they'd hoped to have just gotten away with it and made themselves a bit richer, but it's not long before Joe's on their tail, and worse, he's found evidence.
Oh my God, look at that fire we started, Quagmire and Mort. You know who I don't miss is Joe.
That's a piece of evidence that hurts all of us.
At first, Joe does his job and arrests the three of them, but when he hears about the insurance part of the scam, he remembers how the insurance screwed him over when he got injured, plus it's his friends inside, so he suddenly becomes a corrupt cop and lets them go.
And I've still got the evidence to prove it.
Message deleted.
Yeah, I'm letting you guys go.
Sure, it's understandable, but the law is the law. At least Joe is helping out his friends and sticking it to big businesses, which is more than can be said for Detective Yates in South Park. Remember a little while ago I told you to remember the left-hand killer episode? Well, Yates is also a big star of that episode. He's famous for using Cartman, a literal child, as a psychic guide to help him find serial killers.
What do you see in your mind?